Costco suing the federal government. The retail giant's asking for a full refund if the U.S. Supreme Court strikes down President Trump's tariffs.
You heard that right. Costco, the shopping juggernaut, is suing the Trump administration over the piggy-in-chief's idiotic tariff policy. Costco is not the first corporation to sue the federal government to get reimbursed over lost revenue due to tariffs, but it definitely is the largest. This is a shocking development and is really putting the Trump administration on the back foot here, because if the Supreme Court does rule that Trump violated the law in issuing it tariffs without the approval or legislation of Congress, then he is going to have to shell out big time. And yeah, he definitely doesn't want to do that. It is unclear exactly how much revenue Costco has specifically lost due to tariff impacts, but it has been calculated that the Trump administration pulled in roughly $90 billion in tariffs from February through September of this year. So yeah, Costco is clearly not too happy about this. So if you want to hear more about this story, the methods Costco is going to use, the Trump admin's response, as well as some reactions from online, be sure to stick around until the end of the video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Really American YouTube channel. All right, let's dive in.
So, Elizabeth, what's Costco hoping to gain from this lawsuit?
Diane, what Costco wants is money that it's paying for those tariffs. The wholesale retailer says that it wants a full refund for the tariffs that it's paid under this act that's been imposed by President Trump, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, IEEPA has been what it's called. And of course, we heard arguments earlier this fall in the Supreme Court under whether President Trump has the authority legally to impose tariffs under that act. So what Costco is saying is it wants to get money back once that decision is made, which we, as you say, do expect early next year.
So this case that we're talking about here is a kind of, if this does happen, we want our money back situation, because Costco here is waiting for the Supreme Court to make a decision. But if they rule against the Trump admin, then a lot of revenue should be coming back to the corporations that are suing the federal government. This case specifically is putting a lot of pressure on the Trump admin from one of the largest retailers in the country, because not only is it a legitimate lawsuit that could cost the administration a lot of money, now that it's such a big corporation like Costco suing the administration, a lot more people are paying attention. Because Costco is setting a precedent here, right? If they are successful and the Supreme Court does overrule the Trump administration, which they very well might, Trump will be at fault for the loss of billions of dollars due to the tariffs that he illegally imposed. And this makes total sense that a lawsuit like this would come from Costco of all places, because they are a giant retailer who stand to gain a lot of money if they win, but also they have a really good track record of keeping prices low for consumers and have a focus on treating their employees well, and of course, the ever-famous $1.50 Costco hot dog, which, by the way, has remained the same price since 1985. Are you kidding me? And also, just a side note, is that not genuinely the greatest deal on the market right now for a meal? $1.50. Costco, not a sponsor, by the way, just making that clear. But they just sell a damn good hot dog. And it's only $1.50, and you get a soda. Now I want a hot dog. But a little bit more on that topic, Jim Senegal, the co-founder of Costco, has even gone on record telling his CEO that, quote, "If you raise the effing hot dog, I will kill you. Figure it out." That's crazy. I love Costco. So yeah, Costco doesn't play around. The Trump administration has yet to officially respond to the lawsuit, but they are definitely digging their feet into the sand here.
And Elizabeth, how is the Trump administration responding to this?
You know, what the Trump administration is saying, Diane, is that this shows how necessary these tariffs are. They point to the revenue that's coming in from tariffs, and they say this is proof that it's working to try to raise money for the federal government.
Just thought I would cut in here real quick. Yeah. The revenue and the raising money there that they're talking about is coming off of the backs of hardworking American people, by the way, because the Trump administration is wringing out every single nickel and dime from hardworking Americans so that the wealthiest among us can buy their third yacht, while thousands of Americans will die every single year because of Trump's disastrous domestic policy. Because these tariffs are not actually taxing these companies overseas, they're taxing the American people. Because what do these companies and retailers do here in America America, when prices go up for them overseas, they pass on that charge to the consumer. So things being 25% more expensive from China, because guess what? Everything you buy from China now from that retailer, they had to pay 25% more, and they're not going to take that hit, so they're going to charge you 25% more. And that is the dangerous game that Trump is playing here, and that is going to cost so many people so much money, and we're feeling the impacts of it right now.
And this is an argument we've heard President Trump regularly talk about how much money tariffs are bringing in. He often does inflate those numbers, talking about trillions of dollars when really we're looking at closer to $100 billion, at least so far this year. At an annual rate, it could continue to go up, especially with a lot of those tariffs still in place. But the White House has stood firm, saying that the president does have the authority to impose those tariffs. They say they have a sound legal case here. Really, what it's all going to come down to, Diane, is the decision by the Supreme Court.
This could be a major deal if Costco is successful in this suit and if the Supreme Court rules against Trump here. So a lot has to happen, but if it does, it'll be a good thing, because there is a lot of attention now because Costco is actively attacking and pressuring the Trump administration, which is phenomenal to see from a company. But because Costco is so big and also so well liked among the general public for having this good reputation, this news has gotten a lot of amazing reactions online, with plenty of people praising the retail giant for its decision to fight back against Donald Trump and his idiotic tariff policy. I mean, seriously, these tariffs are really, really stupid, right? Can we all agree? Hurting American companies and consumers is just moronic to me. But again, it's Trump, so I guess I can give him credit for that. But Costco is taking this opportunity to push back, and people are loving it. Here's one reaction from a user on Twitter saying, if Costco wins and forces Trump to abandon his idiotic and intentionally destructive economic policies, I will immediately buy a Costco membership. Yes, exactly. And that has almost 800 likes. People like to see this, right? Donald Trump is extremely unpopular right now. His administration is extremely unpopular. Republicans in general are extremely unpopular. So a company taking a stand against the administration, even if it's for their own benefit, which in Costco's case, it semi-is and is also semi to keep prices down for consumers because they want their business to do better. It's a private company. It makes sense, right? But this generates a lot of goodwill. People like to see them fighting back against someone who they know to be a complete asshole. Another user writing here, I love Costco. As people probably remember, they refused to scrap their DEI policies when pressured to do so, and now they're fighting back. Hooray! Almost 400 likes there. Again, exactly, Costco has generated so much goodwill by standing on their principles, right? They said they weren't going to cancel DEI initiatives because they actually think that it is beneficial for their company and for consumers and for workers, and they didn't get rid of them. And now here's a person with almost 400 likes saying, this is exactly why I love Costco so much. And here's another one, Trump, I alone can fix trade. Costco, hold my hot dog. It always comes back to the hot dog. And then here's one more from Jordan, also on Twitter, saying, I already like this place, but I want to shop more with any brand willing to stand up to this absolute nonsense of an administration. Let's fucking go. Fire emojis. Exactly. Again, over 600 likes on this one. People want to see companies fighting back. People want to shop where they know that their dollars are going to a company that is actually standing on their values and standing on their morals and pushing back against this corrupt, moronic administration. These are all an incredible showcase that Americans are fed up with Trump's stupid policy, and also that in a world with companies trying to squeeze every single last dollar out of the pockets of hardworking Americans, when a company doesn't do that, when a company actually treats their employees and consumers and customers well and stands by their values and fights for what's right, all while trying to keep their prices low, that generates a lot of goodwill from their customers. And that makes people want to shop there. They want to go back again and again. I know I do. But some people are not so happy about the decision. MAGA is kind of melting down over this one. Here is a user on Twitter responding to the news saying, just canceled my @Costco membership. Okay, fine. So just let me get this straight in my head. This guy canceled his membership to a store which is trying to lower costs for you, the consumer, by suing a corrupt government that you somehow still support. Okay, cool. No, yeah, I'm just making sure we're on the same page. I can't believe these people sometimes. Here is another user commenting under a New York Post announcement of the news saying Costco is about to be the new Bud Light. Okay, cool. Bud Light. I can't believe we're still talking about Bud Light. It has been years since the whole Bud Light controversy where they utilized a trans content creator to market Bud Light. And then Republicans got upset about that for some reason, even though it was like one ad and one specific online campaign. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. These MAGA morons are just shooting themselves in the foot over and over again by saying they're not going to shop at Costco, the only goddamn retailer in this country who's trying to lower prices for you. They lower prices for Democrats just as much as they lower them for Republicans. Doesn't matter what party you are, you can shop at Costco, where the prices are pretty damn good. And again, I'm not trying to defend Costco here. I'm just saying that they're a decent company. But these people, I guess, just don't want to go to Costco because it's woke liberal nonsense now, I guess. Okay, fine for me. Costco's are always super busy and the lines are super long, so maybe I'll get to check out quicker when they're not there. Costco's suit is a 17-page document here laying out their complaints, pleadings, and claims. According to Costco's complaint, the filing argues that Trump illegally instated these funds and that he does not have the authority to levy tariffs. That is the job of Congress, according to Costco's lawyers. Their complaint here reading that none of these statutes authorizes the president to impose tariffs. They're saying that the United States Constitution provides all legislative powers he granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, basically claiming that what Trump did is illegal and that when that is proven by the Supreme Court, they'll get their money. Because Costco clearly has an opinion here, and they're being pretty blunt about it. And while, yes, this is all very legal jargon that is very exact and to the point and specific, you can still tell there's hints of sass in there. Like the line, none of these statutes authorizes the president to impose tariffs,